The government does not regulate the engine size of a UTV or an off-road vehicle. And for you folks in the back, I'll say it a little louder. The government does not regulate engine size for OHVs. Did you know that? Did you know the government doesn't regulate engine size on an off-road vehicle?
I did not know that, no.
Hey, did you know that the government does not regulate the engine size of off-road vehicles?
I actually did know that. I did know that. It's more of a self-regulating thing that the manufacturers did.
So some of you guys will remember the Yamaha Rhino and its popularity. Wasn't the first side-by-side on the market, but it was the one that really escalated the market. And several people got hurt driving those. Most of them didn't have seat belts. Almost none of them had helmets on. I think it was saying 42% were reported of having no seat belt. 42% were reported of not knowing if they had a seat belt. So I think 2007 Polaris jumped to the market with the Razor 800, the original 50-inch Razor, and then ROHVA was formed. ROHVA stands for Recreational Off-Highway Vehicle Association. Now, ROHVA is a non-for-profit organization that is comprised of all the UTV manufacturers. And I say all of them. I mean, there are some scattered out there, but you're looking at Yamaha, Kawasaki, Can-Am, Polaris, and maybe one or two more, just off the top of my head. I'm not reading this, just going off script here. But anyway, so the sanctioning body, ROHVA, is who decides safety and classification of an ROV, or what we know now as UTV, which requires it to have be steering wheel controlled, bucket seats or bench seats, safety restraints, throttle by a gas pedal, and I think there's a couple of other things, but the main thing is that it does not exceed 1,000 cc's, and it must also do at least 30 miles per hour to be considered a UTV or ROV. So in November of 2008, the American National Standards Institute accredited ROHVA. It's also known as ANSI. So what that basically means is the manufacturers are pretty smart and formed a coalition to regulate themselves on basically safety. So you're probably wondering, what exactly does all that mean? Well, I'll tell you. That means the only thing that's holding the manufacturers back from producing a UTV with a larger engine than 1,000 cc are the manufacturers themselves. Now, there's been a rumor that's went around for years and years and years, all over social media, forums, all that UTVs cannot exceed 1,000 cc because of government regulation. Now, I'm not saying that your wife's hairdresser doesn't have a cousin who has a friend that works at the Polaris plant in Huntsville, Alabama, that said this. I'm not calling him a liar. I'm just saying it's factually inaccurate. For Polaris to come out with a new UTV with a 4-cylinder engine, 2-liter, one of two things has to happen. Either ROHVA will meet and vote on changing the definition of a UTV to a larger engine size than 1,000 cc, or Polaris simply just doesn't classify it as a UTV. It'll just be a 2-liter off-road machine, bypassing anything in ROHVA's classification. Now, if you don't agree with me, that's okay. But if you're not going to agree with me, then please comment below. And please, please, just send me one form of legislation that proves me wrong.